Here I have some Starbond medium thick CA glue, and I'm filling these holes created by beetles that had once dug through. I like to use black on walnut, obviously, because it matches the color a little bit better. People going for a darker aesthetic. That's great for filling these little bug holes like that, but get to like larger ones where when you've cut through this way, it leaves a longer bug hole, and takes a lot more CA glue to fill. But they give you these cool tips. You can take them on and off. They give you probably 10 of them, maybe a little less, that the cap and stuff like that, but I never use it. Probably should. Stay a lot longer, but I do a little thin layer to fill the bottom, wherever that is. And I kind of just do it in layers so that it builds up. And you get an overall better bond, I think, personally. In the end, I get these little spots like this. I do my best to fill the low spot. This one was interesting. I had like a piece that was curved, and I flattened out the bottom. And as you could tell, it's kind of like, you know, this one won't be reversible, I guess. I guess it could be. I don't really know, but it'll set flat on this side. But I left these saw marks like that. I thought that was really interesting. So we'll see if somebody likes it at some point. And then I'll use a 120. Get rid of it's not too aggressive, so it won't cause such a divot. You don't want to push down like this. You want to keep it as flat as possible. I kind of like drag it across. Huh? Yeah.
Why are you calling everybody?
I'm not calling all my buddies. Kristen's out there shoveling some ice. It's time for a little snowball break. Ay. It didn't go so well. Right, so we've let it sit up here for a little bit. Inside. I don't really know what that's called. When you put a piece of rope or something. I don't know. If you know what it's called, let me know. And I already got some 220 on there. Well, I usually have a spray bottle, but in between my last sanding, which I'll end up using the same grit, I will apply some water, which right now I'm just going to use a bowl of water and rub on this. But what I've seen before is a good kind of demonstration is when you sand things down, and if you're using a finish that is still going to allow the wood kind of to breathe, it's not a hard finish, like a polyurethane or something like that. So something you commonly use inside of cutting boards or anything that's food safe. It usually has an oil in it or something like that. Man, that's beautiful. That allows it to continue to be porous. Is when you sand it down, you know, essentially it goes like this. It's flat, and which makes it smooth. So I'm finished with the 220. Get the oil. Cover finish. Move on to the finishing. So I like to use one of two things, and sometimes it depends on what I'm finishing or what the item is, but I like to use either both from the Real Milk Paint Co. A half and half, which is a tung oil and citrus solvent, and then go ahead and mix that for you. Or I guess three things, or their wood wax. All their items are 100% natural, food contact safe, and they are made from all natural materials. They're vegan, non-toxic, so it's just walnut oil, carnauba wax, like solvents, VOC free. On the wood wax, they do have a cutting board oil, and I've got it down here, but I'm not gonna bust that one out. I love this one because it has a great aroma, and it's really oily, and it's got like a citrusy smell to it. But love this company, and used them for I guess 3 years or so now, and don't paint a lot of stuff, but so I can't attest to their paint products, but I can in the finishing for materials such as this, and they are outstanding. I usually put on gloves, but I didn't today. I will survive. Now, this isn't the only stuff you can use. There's so much stuff out there. I'd always recommend doing your due diligence and researching what you want to use. Man, it's thirsty. So thirsty just means that it's wanting to soak up a lot of the oil that I'm putting onto it. So I'll probably end up having to go for another coat. And that's all right. Just the more the merrier when it comes to stuff like that. And I will coat this, get a good coat on here. And let it dry for, there's directions, and it says, I think, for 30 minutes or so. 2 hours, might be. Yeah, 2 to 4 hours. Let it stand 24 minutes between coats. The 2 hours was letting the area that you're working in breathe. But man, really transforms the whole thing into a work of art. And that's beautiful. I have to do something about my finishing pads. I don't really like the way that they kind of pull off like that. Yeah. No bueno. That looks great. Now let that dry.